James Hergott, Radical Body Transformations, and it's showtime. We are at the MABA Provincials. This is a big deal. This is game day. We've got a lot of people competing in this show. We have people that have been working all year round to get ready for this show, and we have people that competed in the novice show to qualify for this. We followed their stories. Some of them made it through and are now continuing on to this. So this is a big day for these people. You know, some of these people have literally slept, trained with one thought in mind, and that is winning this show. We have such a fantastic group of women that are going to be competing, and a lot of them are in the same class. There's the potential here that some of these girls will be competing against each other, and they're friends. So it's going to be a whole interesting dynamic. We're going to show you all of the backstage action, you know, the onstage drama and everything that happens. And you know, this is the real deal. So there's the thrill of victory, there's the agony of defeat, and believe me, you know, a lot of people that compete here, they say trophies don't matter. Believe me, every single girl that competes in here wants one of these, whether they want to admit it or not. And when they get it, man, they're on cloud nine. If they don't get it, it hurts, because, you know, they think about the time they took away from their family. They think about the time that they ate egg whites and fish and everything, every single meal, and didn't go out and socialize and all this stuff just to prepare for this day. So a lot is on the line, and it's going to be really interesting how this plays out. So check this out. James Hergott here with Radical Body Transformation, bringing you another great story. A girl named Kristen, who's just turned 21 years old. She already took her class at provincials in figure, and she's coming back to do it again. She wants to take the overall and head off to nationals. And she's just got an incredible story, and she's about to embark on an amazing journey. So I would like to introduce you to Kristen. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you for submitting to be on the show and for coming down and doing this. We really appreciate it. Now, you've got a crazy story about how this all went down and how you got into competition. Tell me a little bit about your childhood and background and what that was like.
So in elementary school, I got bullied pretty hard. I've always had a lower self-esteem. I never felt good about myself. My confidence was really, really low. Then I ended up in high school, I got into a 3.5-year relationship that ended up being physically and mentally abusing. After that ended, I then started getting into the gym and working out and just improving on myself.
Now, you know, obviously we don't want to get too much into the details. What were some of the names or different things that maybe you were called when you were in this relationship or when you were younger?
Yeah, about a month before we broke up, I started like doing cardio, and that's all I was doing because that's all I really knew how to do comfortably. So I was like flexing for him, and he'd always call me weak. He'd call me fat. He'd always, just things like that. It obviously didn't make me feel good, which made me just want to work out harder because, I mean, he's called me weak and fat, and I kind of want to just prove him wrong. So then I did lots and lots of cardio before I started weight training. I pretty much just got like really skinny, and then I started lifting. pretty much just doing lateral raises like the whole hour.
Well, obviously it's horrible that this happened to you, but the good thing is sometimes the adversity that we face in life shapes us and makes us stronger. Of course, usually that's more of a metaphor, but in your case, you've actually got physically stronger. In fact, you went against what this guy was telling you. You became strong, both physically, mentally, and you built your body, and definitely you're far from fat. And when you compete, I dare say you come in completely shredded. Is that not correct? So,
yeah.
what has that done for your self-esteem or how you feel about yourself now?
Yeah, definitely lifting and just even being on stage has boosted my confidence like crazy. I'm a very confident individual now. I don't ever feel bad about myself, especially after workout. I feel friggin' amazing, like on cloud 9, especially after a really good training session. Definitely the gym's given me like a lot of confidence.
That's fantastic. I'd like to bring in your trainer who's definitely helped you on this journey, Darren. Darren from Freak Fitness, creating another freak, but we say freak in a good way, and you definitely bring a freakish package to the stage. You are still feminine, but man, do you come in with muscle. So what's it like with working with a trainer like Darren?
Darren's amazing. He's definitely changed my life for the better. I mean, without him, I wouldn't have accomplished what I did, which was the novice, won first, and then provincials about 9 weeks after and placed first. So together, me and Darren accomplished a lot. I ended up being I'm a GAT ambassador for GAT supplements. So definitely Darren's made me achieve quite a bit, and I'm excited to see what we're able to do next year. So.
That's great. And now let's say this person from your past or somebody like him were to want to get involved with you. How would you feel about getting involved with that type of personality again?
I definitely wouldn't. My entire outlook on a guy has changed. Definitely, I like guys with a lot of muscle, and there are quite a few guys in Winnipeg with lots of muscle. I mean, I wouldn't ever want to be with a guy that doesn't lift or train or at least has competed, just because he wouldn't understand me. And I think definitely someone to be with that has competed is definitely going to help a lot with understanding who I am as a person.
Well, I have to assume, even more importantly than what you might be attracted to, is how you feel about yourself. So tell me, like, in those days when somebody was putting you down, how you felt about yourself and how you feel about yourself now.
Well, yeah, like when my ex was putting me down and whatnot, definitely didn't make me feel very good about myself. Finding someone else, if I ever do, would obviously want to make me feel good about myself. But regardless, I feel good about myself anyways. I don't need someone telling me that to look good or feel better about myself. So
Darren, she's getting ready for provincials.
Yep.
She's already got a great package put together. You're how many weeks out are you now? Approximately, or months?
I think maybe like 20 weeks.
20 weeks, okay.
I think so, about that.
Yeah, it's about 5 or 6 months approximately.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go from here in terms of what you would get her to do in order to get her ready so that she could peak in May for her contest?
Well, we're going to continue to build a little more size. She definitely wanted to get a little bit bigger for this next round. That was, I think, one of the things that why she didn't get the overall was the winner was a little bit bigger than her. So that's what we're going to try to do this time. I mean, conditioning wise, she was right on the money both times. She had very stiff competition both times. She never had it easy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think she doesn't want it easy. She wants to work for it and earn it. And I think that's why she's coming back. I mean, she was already nationally qualified, but she said, I want to come back and I want to win the overall. It's just something that she wants. I mean, I can relate. That's what I did when I competed at that level. So, yeah, we're gonna bring her. I mean, she's young. She's just turned 21. So, you know, she's gonna be mature, 1 year more mature than she was last year, and with that becomes more detail, just more refinement of what she's already brought to the stage. I mean, she's already, you know, she's undefeated so far. 2 firsts, batting 1,000, right? So we're gonna continue to build on that.
Yeah, and the amazing thing, the respect I have for competitors is that even though they bring such an amazing package, they want to challenge themselves. They want to reach another level, and it takes a special type of personality to really want to do that.
Oh, for sure.
And for you to say, you know, I'm not even worried about nationals, I really want to take the overall provincials, just says a lot about your character and your drive. Darren, I mean, obviously you've dealt with all types of different women and stuff like that. How have you seen competition affect people's personality for the better, or help to mold them into better people, especially from like a confidence point of view?
Well, that's one thing I love about this sport, bodybuilding, the case figure, is that it's a 24-hour sport. It doesn't just teach you to achieve better on stage. It actually teaches you can achieve better in everything else. I mean, just like you touched on, I mean, she has higher standards for people that she's going to be around and accept in her life. You know, she's got plans in school to better herself career-wise. She loves what she does now, but she knows that she can do something bigger and better. So the sport helped her teach her that she can do bigger and better. So now she's applying what she learned from the sport. She's applying to everything else that she's doing. And I think that's what's really great about this sport, is that it carries into everything else. It's not just what you can do on stage, it's what you can do in everything else. The stage is just, I think, a reflection of the person as a whole. I mean, the stage is just one day. We always say that, right? That the stage is our opportunity, or in her case, her opportunity to kind of celebrate her hard work. And we get to share in that celebration. For her, that everyday achievements, everyday achieving is now carried into everything else, and definitely confidence level is I mean, what I've seen with her just in the last year is big. I mean, you know, I just found out, just talking before, you know, that what had happened to her just before we met makes me appreciate even more what she's grown into now. So it's you know, she was still battling with that, I think, for the first year. Now it's like she doesn't even think about that. Now that's so in the past. Yeah. Now that's the anchor that was slowing her down. Now, I mean, just what she's done this off season, how she's changed her body and improved it. I'm actually really excited to see what she's going to do this year on stage and what new package she's going to bring. So pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's incredible that you're such a driven person and you've channeled whatever negativity you've had in the past into a positive direction. I personally think you're a beautiful person on the outside and on the inside, so don't ever let anybody tell you different. I'm sure Darren feels the same way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I understand we're going to do some back today.
Yeah.
And you're going to really push it and try to crush some.
Yeah, back's one of my favorites for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah,
wow.
She has a personal record she wants to beat today, so I think 13 was your record.
The last two reps were like not very, not full range of motion. But,
okay, so we'll say 11. So we're going to try to beat 11 today for pull-ups.
Yeah.
All right, okay. That's incredible. All right, let's do this. James Hergott here with Radical Body Transformations. One thing I love about this show is we get to meet people from all different walks of life, all different backgrounds, and they compete, they're interested in training, and they're interested in fitness, no matter their background. So because I'm gonna screw up her master's degree, I'm gonna introduce you to Sarah Bow. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, James.
Okay, so what do you have a master's degree in?
I have a master's of medical microbiology.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. Okay, so, and I understand that's not your only degree.
Yep, I have a Bachelor of Science in organic chemistry and biochemistry.
Okay, so you definitely know a thing or two about science.
Yeah.
Okay, but what are you doing now?
I am now a personal trainer.
Okay, so you went and you got all these degrees, but that wasn't your passion, was it?
No. Did it for many years, was in school for more years than I would probably care to admit to, and decided that it was just something I was good at but wasn't really passionate about. So I thought about, what am I really passionate about? What do I look forward to doing every single day? What is always on my mind? And that's going to the gym and being around my fitness family. So I decided that I was gonna make a big shift in my life and make a new career, starting in the world of fitness as a personal trainer.
Well, you know, it's incredible because it's hard for people sometimes to pursue their passion. There's a lot of pressure on them from friends or family or even the community to, quote, get, you know, a stable job or 9-to-5 job. And so it takes courage to really pursue what you're passionate about. And I understand that your parents also have a science background. And
yeah, both my parents are doctors, so obviously there was a certain level of pressure there for me to follow suit and continue on in the world of science and maybe be another Dr. Bo in there one day. You know, for me to have this big change in my career after, you know, spending so many years and a lot of money on my education was a bit of a shock for them. That you know, I think they were really hoping I was going to continue on and pursue the science and, you know, maybe medical school one day. But I decided I really needed to go with what makes me happy and doing something for me that I really enjoyed. And so that's what really made my decision final.
Well, I'm glad that you pursued your passion, because you know what? You have to be happy within yourself. I mean, your parents had their life, they have their life, and you have yours. And you know, and the key thing with this is that, ironically, even though you didn't become a doctor, there's a lot of things that are similar. For one, you're helping people, and you're helping them with health and wellness. Additionally, you're still involved in the sciences, just a specific aspect of science. And in some ways, you're working on the preventative side of things rather than trying to fix the problem after the fact, so to speak. Not that everything can be fixed, but certainly there's a number of things with health and fitness that really can help prevent a lot of ailments. So, now you go and you get this education, and I don't know how you got all these degrees and look as young as you do, but you pursued your passion. What do your parents think now? Have they come to accept that this is what you're doing?
I think it's, you know, it's like we love you and we're going to support you in whatever you do, and they would never try to stop me from doing anything that I really wanted to do. You know, I'm a grown up, I can do what I like, but I think they're slowly warming up to it. Before I was a personal trainer, I started as a group fitness instructor. So, you know, as a kind of a part-time job on top of my schooling and then working in my field. So they've kind of already been kind of exposed to having fitness being a job for me and it being a bigger part of my life. And then as well as starting to compete and seeing that being, you know, adding more into my everyday life and starting to see fitness taking over my day-to-day routines and them really seeing how passionate I am about it. And I think that this kind of one extra step is just helping them to see that, you know, she knows what she's talking about. She knows what she wants in life, and is, you know, even though it's gonna take a lot of work to make a career change, especially going from kind of very extreme to another extreme, that it's they'll support me, and they're starting to figure out that it's a big thing for me.
Well, the problem is when you mention Darren, he happens to come into the picture. So you're not going to get away with mentioning his name without him coming in here.
How's it going, James?
Good to see you guys.
Hi, Darren.
All right, so you've got this girl, and she's super smart. She's got a great education.
Yes.
And one of the things that has impressed me about her, and actually really impressed me about you, is she said that she's developed a lot of critical thinking, you know, going through all the schooling, and that she actually challenges you. Well, not challenge in a bad way, but she'll basically ask why she's doing things. Yep. So what I take away from that is you definitely can't be full of it to be giving her a plan and get away with
Results don't lie.
Yes. So she was mentioning that she'll, you know, question, why is a supplement in there? Why do I have to eat this at this point in time? So, you know, that holds you to account to, you know, have that kind of knowledge. And, you know, it's incredible to have somebody with this kind of a scientific background to be able to ask those questions. And she says you can give really detailed answers. So,
well, I think with her it's more, once she believes in the why, she'll execute it that much more. Like she'll then know that, okay, this is why I'm doing it, so I'm gonna work even harder to make it work even better. So I don't mind her asking questions, because I mean, I don't want her to be guessing. I don't want blind followers. I want people to, our freaks to be intelligent in what they do. I mean, hopefully they're intelligent. That's why they picked me to train them. But no, seriously, once she knows why something's being done, then it's just full steam ahead. And I mean, her progress and results prove that. So I don't mind that at all.
Well, let's face it, some people could just follow a plan, and it's easy to just kind of like blindly follow something. But it sounds to me like you want to understand the concept and then learn how to really apply it. So you've competed before, and now what's your upcoming competition?
My next show is the MABA Provincials at the end of May of 2015.
And you're going to be competing in what category?
Figure.
All right, so what are the goals in terms of going from where you're at right now to that contest? What is it that you want to do to improve yourself so that you can, do your best placing?
Well, the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on this year, based on the feedback that I got from the judges of my last show, was size. So I wanted to put on a lot more size this year, get that classic figure shape, so building shoulders, building the back, getting that V taper, and sharpening conditioning. So we've had 3 shows under our belts together, learning what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So tweaking the plans every year a little bit more so that we can get a little bit sharper and a little bit more progress forward. To bring a better package to the stage each and every time. So I think that we learned a lot last year, especially doing 2 shows back to back, about what diets work well and what diets do not work well. And even the difference in the types of workouts that we're doing this year versus last year has made a huge difference in the progress that I've seen. I mean, I feel infinitely stronger this year than I was last year. In terms of the different kinds of exercise and the amount of weight that I'm able to push and pull versus last year. So I feel like that we've got a really strong game plan moving forward, and I
think one of the biggest things for her too was, and I mean, it's not just her specifically, it applies to a lot of women. Guys don't mind putting on weight. They actually like that because it makes it, but for women, it's hard for them to accept to see that scale climb.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was the biggest hurdle for us. I mean, and it took, almost 2 years to get to that point, was for you to put on muscle, you're gonna have to see that scale go up. And, for the first while, that was hard for her to take. And it was a constant reminding.
Yeah, there were some panicked emails. I'm like, is this number right? Yeah. Are you sure it should be this big?
Yeah. And I mean, it's, yeah, and it's clearly worked. We're gonna be starting pre-contest soon. After the new year, once the new year starts, and
very excited about
that.
Yeah,
this is the most, it's interesting because a lot of people, after they competed a few years, the motivation changes or reduces because it's something they've done before. Well, with her, it's actually increased. I mean, every year she's getting more motivated. She's training harder. She's working harder. She's eating more. I mean, there's just more of everything, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see what she puts on stage this year, because there's no doubt that she has raised the bar for herself in the off season, which ultimately is going to lead to raising the bar for herself in the pre-contest phase. So it's going to be really, really cool to see. And for what it's, I must actually put a little point in here is every update she's had that she's sent me since last year's show into the off season, there's been one line that always says the same thing: goal, 2015 overall champion. I mean, that's just something that's been in her brain all the way, and I think that reflects of how she's been training and approaching this off season. So, I mean, it's all about mental.
Yeah.
Mental here first, the body will follow.
Yeah.
So.
After last year's show, last provincials, he asked me, "Okay, what's next? What do you want?" And the first thing I said, "I want overall."
And that's been the same answer all the way.
And so I put it in our weekly updates
right.
every single time. Like, this is my weight. This is how my workouts went. This is my diet. This is where I didn't diet. This is where I should have dieted. Goal. Yeah. Overall, it's happening.
Yeah.
Well, visualization is very important, and obviously in order to attain all of the schooling and everything, you had to be a very goal-driven person, and you definitely followed through on those goals. I didn't see you last year, but I think you're arms are definitely big. So I think you could definitely put some size on.
My t-shirts tell me so.
Now, before we unleash Darren on you to put you through some training,
I'm a little afraid.
all right, I've got some stuff for you. Now, I'm a little afraid because I've got all these supplements, and you'll know what everything is in here more than I will. So this is a muscle builder, but it's really a breakdown of a bunch of ingredients, which you can go home and study.
I will go and look these all up.
Yes. So Wikipedia all of those. I'll get an email tonight. This is a pre-workout. Now, I can definitely tell you this works.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in it. It says caffeine, and a bunch of other things, but it definitely it gets me through some pretty crazy workouts.
Wonderful.
So
Look out when I teach my classes.
There you go.
now,
Crazy bears.
if I may call you a science geek, I mean that in a positive way.
I'm okay with that.
As a science geek, I hope you will appreciate this. This apparently makes your water more alkaline.
Okay.
So I'm expecting you to take this and test it because I know that you can actually use, what is the strips or whatever that you can
The
use?
litmus test.
Yes,
Yeah.
I should know that. The limit. So I hope that you will test this.
I will.
And send me an
You know
email.
she
Let
will.
me, yes.
I know what you will.
Yeah, and let me know that if it works, and you know that, because I think what you could do is take the water, put it in a normal glass, test it,
Yeah.
and then put it in here, and it's treated with a chemical, I believe, and it's supposed to increase the pH. So
Okay.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
your scientific analysis of that. And then I have for you another shirt so that we can really see the guns coming out. So that when you go home and see your parents, they'll be even more scared.
These sleeves too? Yeah.
I actually had a sleeveless, but I thought, no, I'll give you a shirt with sleeves, just so you can freak some
So be
people
careful you
out.
don't cover her arms up too much because she could be charged with concealing deadly weapons.
Yeah,
That just happened.
I do have to admit, you have some sizable guns on you. But you know what? I've seen some people that have won in your category with big guns. So, I mean, at Nationals, I know a girl that had a very similar physique to you have that got her pro card, I believe it was the year before last. So, you know, I like what you write down on your
One day,
updates.
next year's goal. Let's go.
So that's for you.
Thank you. I like green.
And then Popeyes has given us some other additional things.
Wonderful.
And this is the local Popeyes, so they're looking after you.
Thank you so much.
So we appreciate you being a part of this journey and allowing us to follow you. And we'll definitely be pulling for you. I know because you have all of the people that you train and your classes and everything, that you have a huge fan base cheering section.
Yeah, they've started
So-
their Team Strongbow
Wow,
cheering
okay.
section.
There we go.
Well, we'll be sitting in the same section, I hope, and we'll be cheering you on. So I'm excited to see how you do at provincials, and I think it'll be incredible. So
Well, thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
Yeah.
Now, I was just going to say, for the workout, I think it would be a special treat if we brought in her fellow teammate Susan to join in the fun, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Are you okay with that too, Sarah?
Absolutely.
You'll need some backup, I think, for this one. So.
And by fun he means like pain, but a good kind of pain. I've been
Well,
through.
I don't say that until now. So.
I've been through some of his fun, and I'm still recovering. So.
Right on. Okay.
All right, cool.
Okay,
Let's
cool,
do this.
All right.
So last year was my first year competing in 2014. I placed first in novice as a figure class A competitor. 8 weeks later, I did provincials, placed first in my class again. Went up for the overall title, didn't get that. I didn't really expect to get it because it was only my first year competing, so I didn't put my expectations too high. There was the girl that actually won. I already knew before we even stepped on stage that she was gonna get the overall. We were out for our lunch in between pre-judging and finals, and I told her, man, I'm like, you're gonna get that overall, because she looked amazing, like super nice V-taper, like I already knew she was gonna get it, and she ended up getting it, so I was super proud for her. She's actually a huge inspiration to me. So this year I decided to do provincials again. Last year after provincials, I knew already that I wanted to go and try and get the overall title this year, which is tomorrow. So every single day, 365, 24/7 for the last year, it's been my mindset every single morning. Just want to get that overall title. Every time that it turns like 11:11, I'll always look at the clock and I'm like, I need to get that overall title. Like, it's just something I really, really want. So, I mean, if I don't get it, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to change me as a person. It's just, yeah.
Okay, so I'm here at provincials with Kristen. She's completed the pre-judging. She's about to move into the night show. And she's got, what kind of food do you got with you there, Kristen?
Right now I have raw oats with honey, Snickers, chocolate-covered raisins. I have some salt and vinegar mini rice cakes with cinnamon, honey, and just regular raisins. I actually have bite-sized Snickers, snack-sized Snickers, and a full-size Snickers, because Snickers is my favorite. This is what I'm going to be having when I'm pumping up, and then I got like bite-sized just kind of in between, and then maybe some extra snack-size when I'm pumping up as well.
And so do you get a sugar high off this stuff, or how does it feel to be finally eating this stuff after?
It's amazing, actually. Like, I just wish I could eat this all the time and like look this good. It's such a process, and it's like we've earned our carbs. I mean, we've depleted ourselves, and this just tastes amazing. It's just filling me out, keeping me energized with energy. So I mean, yeah, I feel pretty good right now considering I had like a 2-hour sleep. I'm pretty alert and awake, but it's probably from the carbs and sugar.
So why did you only get 2 hours sleep? I know you had to get up early, do makeup and all that, but was you nervous to stay, or was it just the amount of stuff you had to do?
I was very like scatterbrained yesterday. I was like packing all my stuff for today, and I kept like doing things and like standing there and just like thinking about the next day, which was in like 5 hours. So I tried falling asleep, and every time I would like try and sleep, I would like be thinking about myself on stage and achieving my goal, and I was just, my mind was going so crazy yesterday. It was nuts. I know yesterday you asked me like, what are you going to be thinking about like in the morning, like, or before you go to bed, what are you going to be thinking about? And I said like, well, I'm going to be thinking about my breakfast, which I did, but I was really thinking about myself on stage today, achieving my dream. So my dreams were keeping me up at night pretty much. So yeah.
Now, as we both know, the pre-judging is where they make most of the decisions. Okay, tell me how it played out, the pre-judging, and how they moved you around, and where you think you stand going into the night show. I
think there was 4 or 5 girls in my class. They moved me around a couple times. I don't know if I was in center stage or not, because I'm not sure how many girls were in my class, but I'm feeling pretty good about accomplishing my goal of defending my title this year and getting another shot at winning the overall. So feeling really good about my class this year, so I'm really excited. I did see my stage pictures, and honestly, at this point, I don't even really care how I do anymore, because I'm already bringing a better package this year than I did last year, so I'm already like feeling super accomplished. Like when I saw my stage pictures, I was like, oh my God, like I'm so proud of myself. So at this point, even if I got second, all good. Like I'm so happy, so.
That's fantastic. Well, we're pulling for you. What are you going to do right now before you get ready to go on stage?
I still got to get my spray tan touched up. I think I'll maybe fix my makeup a little bit and my hair. Gonna eat some more, try and relax a bit, but I'm gonna try and pump up early. I'm gonna get my spray tan touched up. I'm gonna pump up after the intermission, and then then I'll go on stage, and then after that, so I'm gonna go talk with my family. My mom flew down from Ottawa to see my show, so I'm really excited to see her. Really excited for Confusion Bar and Girl after. I already know what I'm getting, so, because it's really good. Looking forward to the food and to celebrate with friends and stuff, so, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're pulling for you.
Thank you.
We'll be backstage capturing all the action, so.
I'm excited, super excited.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
11-11.
Yes, 11-11, baby.
In second place, Angie, who was assistant.
In first place was to Cristyn Boulet.
Congratulations. So you took first place again. How do you feel?
Really excited. Really excited.
Yeah.
I'm like freaking out.
All right, so goal 1 achieved, and now you have to head into the overall.
Yes, I'm like super sweaty right now. Really sweaty. I just want to make sure I get a good pump in my shoulders.
All right,
let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Wish you good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and congratulations on first place.
I'm feeling pretty confident, mostly due to the words of my coach and all of my teammates to help keep me keep me feeling strong and to keep me just generally motivated. Overall, I know that I've made some very good progress for myself over what I was last year. And just feeling stronger in general in my planning and in my ability to keep my workouts and all of my cardio going, even when you're super tired and you're depleted and eating very restricted. Feeling that I've been able to push a little bit harder this year over years past. But then mentally being able to stay going stronger because of having the close network of teammates and having such a supportive coach to keep me on track and reassuring one another that we're all in it together and that we're on track and doing what we should be doing. Well, I ate a hell of a lot more and I lifted a lot heavier. I've had a lot of comments from people this year saying that I've put on a lot of size, and I tell them, like, a lot of chickens had to die this year. A lot of chickens had to die. I struggled a lot with my off season with the weight that I put on. It was a lot more than I was anticipating, but trusting the process and all of the plan that was set forth by Darren and knowing that this is what I needed to be able to get the results that I wanted. I told him, I would show him pictures and being like, this is the physique I want to build. These are the shoulders I want to build. This is the booty I want to build. And he's like, okay, here's the plan, let's do it. And I didn't question it. And even though I was I'm getting uncomfortable with putting on weight and that kind of thing, and my pants not fitting and that kind of thing, but trusting the process and going, knowing that it will be worth it in the end. And so far, I think it's worth it in the end to see the changes that I've made to my physique, even before stage day. So I'm feeling, very good about the transformation that I've been able to make, and trusting the process is really just the key, and knowing that you have to struggle to get the victory in the end.
James Hergott here with Radical Body Transformations. We are at MABA Provincials. It's a beautiful day outside. We had the pre-judging this morning. I am with the beautiful Sarah. You're all glammed up. Thank you for getting all glammed up for this interview. We appreciate it. Okay, so you're competing today.
Yeah.
Now, you had the pre-judging this morning. You're about to go into the night show.
Yeah.
Tell me how things went, or how you think they went.
Things went very well this morning. I think first off, it being a smaller show this year, fewer competitors, things moved much more quickly. So being able to go through all the stages of prep and getting the right meals in, the right timing, I felt was much smoother this year. Still up at the crack of dawn for hair and makeup and all of that stuff, and eating pancakes in the chair getting my hair done this morning. It's always kind of the best start to the day, but I felt, it was very smooth. It didn't feel rushed. Definitely felt like I timed things the way they needed to happen this morning. Checking in with Darren, as the hours rolled by, and telling him how I was doing, how I was feeling. This is what I've eaten so far, and sending him pictures and things, and him assuring me that I'm on point and I'm doing the right things. I definitely felt much more prepared this year than in previous years. My pump up went really, really well. I felt like I timed it just right. I ate just the right amount of, treats and non-treats and things like that, and felt very good walking out on stage. It was really kind of satisfying to see the lights again and to hear so many people cheering for me. It was that really good feeling that I was really looking forward to.
Now, did you get a chance to see the pictures and see your body? How did it look?
I've seen a few pictures that have just been on social media already, and there's always those couple of awkward mid-transition pictures, and I'm just like, I'm like, oh, I hope that's not my actual pose. That's probably a transition picture. But overall, I felt like my posing maybe could have been a little sharper, but it's quite rushed. I mean, you literally have 10 seconds to showcase the last year of work. So I felt very good. Could have been a little sharper, I think, but overall, I felt like I hit my poses pretty well. And I was placed center stage when we did our call-outs and comparisons. I had a very small class of only 3 people, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time doing comparisons, but they moved me right to center stage and I stayed there, so that kind of just reassured that I was where I needed to be.
Now, you usually get an idea in the morning show of how you're placing by how they're moving you around. How did you feel about that? Like when they started moving you around or whatever, you got kind of an idea going the night show, how you're going to do?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I mean, I never like to say, oh, I feel like I'm going to win. I feel like I've got this. I don't like to go into that approach. Because everybody wants to win. There's only one person who can win. But I'm feeling confident that I'm going to do very well, and I'm feeling the most confident that I'm going to do better than I did last year, which has always been my goal in every competition. I placed 4th last year in both of my shows, and that's my goal, is to do better than 4th place. So, I mean, everybody wants to get a trophy, everybody wants to get that 1st place, but I'm going to be happy with whatever the judges decide for me today. And I mean, if I get to go and take that shot for the overall, then that'll be just another little dream of mine I get to shoot for today. So.
Well, we're definitely going to be pulling for you.
Thank you.
What are you going to do now, getting ready for the night show?
I've got a little bit more time. I'm going to start to eat a little bit more, start to get my pump up going, dig into the chocolate a little bit. But now it's just being relaxed and knowing that everybody is here, rooting for me. I've got a bunch of my coworkers are here. My parents came. I have my best friend from out of town is here to see me as well. So hope to make them proud today. They, spend a lot of time to come and see me when they're, sitting all day. So I'm just gonna go sit downstairs, kind of get in my zone, and just be ready to do my very best again.
Well, we look forward to watching you compete and seeing the outcome.
Yeah.
So good luck.
Thank you so much. I look forward to making everybody proud.
And second, Tracy Sinclair.
How do you feel to place 1st?
Thank you. 93.
Freaking amazing.
That's awesome.
4 years. 4 years. Never give up.
That's awesome. And the crazy thing is, you're in the overall up against Kristen and whoever else is competing here. So
I wouldn't want to be up against anybody else.
yeah.
Yeah. Feels great. Yeah. And I want to dedicate to my girls. Couldn't have got here without you. To Darren.
All right, group hug.
My family.
Group hug, but don't ruin your tan.
So proud of you, man. Don't ruin the tan, please.
Don't ruin the tan.
Love you guys. Thank you.
One thing I love about this series is seeing normal people doing extraordinary things. Here we have Kristyn Kelli, who was told by her ex that she was fat and weak. And instead of letting herself become a victim, she became stronger on both the inside and the outside. And Sarah Bowe, who despite what was expected of her from her family, decided to follow her own path and dreams. When you can break away from even what those closest to you expect from you, then like the last lines in the poem Invictus, you realize, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. And I think that pretty much sums up the 4 friends we followed on this radical body transformation. Join us again for more powerful stories of people following their destiny.